Welcome back, Love Nation. This is Nina. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you to everybody that has been coming to my channel. Like this video, share this video, and hit that notification bell so you guys know when I drop my next one. Listen, you guys, this lawsuit with Blake Lively versus Justin Baldini, her co-star from It Ends With Us, is stunning to say the least. It seems like a lot of mischief was going on this set. As all this information with this lawsuit is dropping this weekend, we're just going to go straight through this. It is a very long lawsuit that I will be reading through, and this is part one. So if you are not subscribed, please subscribe now, because there is a lot of tea in this lawsuit that includes a lot of celebrities. Let's get into this right now. You guys, this is a lot. The Blake Lively lawsuit. Here we go, guys. Part one. Love Nation, we will be reading through the Blake Lively lawsuit. And I've already skimmed through here. It is actually pretty stunning. Some of the allegations in here. I wanted to start at the top so you guys can see all the information. Please feel free to pause, screenshot. As we go through this will be part one. This document is almost 90 pages. So we'll be reading this in several chapters. And this will be part one. This is Blake Lively, an individual plaintiff, versus Wayfair Studios, LLC, a California limited liability company. Justin Baldini, an individual. He is the co-star / director whom has been at the center of the firestorm of social media this weekend. And I'm going to get further into that in a moment. Jamie Heath, an individual. Steve Soritz, an individual. Melissa Nathan, an individual. The agency group PR LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. Jennifer Abel, an individual. RWA Communications, LLC, a California limited liability company. Jed Wallace, an individual. Street Relations, Inc., a California corporation, and does 1 through 100. Those are the defendants. This complaint is for, let's just call this harassment, retaliation, failure to investigate, prevent, and or remedy harassment, retaliation under California Labor Code, aiding and abetting harassment and retaliation, breach of contract, intentional infliction of emotional distress, negligence, false light, invasion of privacy, interference with prospective economic advantage. So she is suing for 10 different complaints of damage, which I just read. We're going to move on into this, and if I come to a section where it, might be like a copy of something that we already read or something, I will skip over it. Also, I will have to read some of this in codes because of YouTube restrictions. So some words will have to be coded. We're going to get into this introduction. On January 4th of 2024, prior to resuming filming of It Ends With Us, the film, following guild strikes and all-hands meeting, was convened to address the hostile work environment that had nearly derailed production of the film. Attendees of the meeting included Justin Baldini, who is the co-chair and co-founder of Wayfair Studios, the owner of the film, as well as the director, executive producer, and actor in the lead role of Ryle Kincaid. Second, Jamie Heath, the chief executive officer of Wayfair and producer of the film. Angie Giannetti, the film's rep for its distributor, Sony Pictures Entertainment. Fourth, Alex Sachs, a producer on the film. Fifth, Todd Black, a producer on the film. Sixth, Blake Lively, who played the role of Lily Bloom in the film. Miss Lively also had the agreed-upon right to have a representative present. She chose her husband, given that the meeting was about repeated harassment and other disturbing behavior by Mr. Baldini and Mr. Heath. As discussed in detail below, Ms. Lively was forced to address concerns about Mr. Baldini and Mr. Heath's misconduct with them directly, and began doing so months before filming began. The concerns she raised were not only for herself, but for other female cast and crew, some of whom had also spoken up. The January 4th meeting occurred only after Wayfair had rebuffed Ms. Lively's efforts repeatedly. During the January 4th meeting, the parties discussed in detail the inappropriate conduct that Ms. Lively, her employees, and other cast and crew experienced at the hands of Mr. Baldini and Mr. Heath. After the list below was reviewed and discussed in its entirety, all parties present agreed that the outlined conduct would cease. And here is the outlined conduct for which she hoped would be cease after this January 4th meeting. First, no more showing adult images of women, including a producer's wife, to Blake Lively and or her employees. Second, no more mention of Mr. Baldoni's or Mr. Heath's previous adult addiction or Blake Lively's lack of that addiction and consumption, or to any other crew members. Third, no more discussions of Blake Lively and or her employees about personal experiences with adult activities, including as it relates to spouses or others. Fourth, no more mention to Blake Lively or her employees of personal times that physical consent was not given in SA as either the person doing it or the person getting it. Fifth, no more descriptions of their adult parts to Blake Lively. 5, no more jokes or disparaging comments to be made to Blake Lively and or her employees about HR complaints Wayfair has already received on set or about missing the HR meeting. No more inquiries by Mr. Baldini to Blake Lively's trainer without her knowledge or consent to disclose her weight. 8. No more mention by Mr. Baldini of him speaking to Blake Lively's dead father. 9. No more pressing by Mr. Baldini for Blake Lively to disclose her religious beliefs or unsolicited sharing of his. 10. If Blake Lively and or her infant is exposed to being sick again, Blake Lively must be provided with immediate notice as soon as Wayfair or any other producers become aware of such exposure without her needing to uncover it days later herself. 11. A intimacy coordinator must be present at all times when Blake Lively is on the set in scenes with Mr. Baldini. 12. No more personal, physical touching or comments by Mr. Baldini or Mr. Heath to be tolerated by Blake Lively and or any of her employees, as well as any female cast or crew without their express consent. 13. No more improvising or kissing. All intimate touch must be choreographed in advance with Blake Lively and or an intimacy coordinator. No biting or sucking of lip without Blake Lively's consent. And all intimate on-camera touch and conversations must be in character, not spoken from Mr. Baldini to Blake Lively personally. 14. Blake Lively is to have a representative on set at all times and with a monitor during scenes involving taking off of clothes, adult activity, and or any pause with Mr. Baldini. 15. All actors in participating with Blake Lively in adult activity scenes involving her being in any state of no clothes or simulated no clothes must be classified as active working actors, not friends of the director or producers, and must be pre-approved by Blake Lively. 16. No more filming of any Blake Lively adult content without a fully executed SAG compliance writer in place. Any such footage already shot without this writer in place and in direct violation of SAG requirements may not be used without Blake Lively and her legal representation's prior written consent. 17. Any scene by Blake Lively or another performer depicting the character of Lily that involves taking off of clothes or any adult activity must be conducted strictly in accordance with the above referenced writer and must adhere to Blake Lively's approved script. 18. An intimacy coordinator must be on set for all scenes involving adult activity or simulated adult activity and must have a monitor to ensure compliance. 19. No monitors to be viewed or accessible on set or remotely during closed set scenes except by Blake Lively's approved essential crew and personnel. 20. No more entering or attempting to enter, interrupting, pressuring, or asking Blake Lively to enter her trailer or the makeup trailer by Mr. Heath or Mr. Baldwin while she has no clothes on for any reason. 21. No more private multi-hour meetings in Blake Lively's trailer with Mr. Baldwin crying with no outside Blake Lively appointed representative to monitor. 22. No more pressing by Mr. Baldwin to sage any of Blake Lively's employees. 23. Producer Alex Sachs to be given standard rights, inclusion, and authority per her job description and as represented to Blake Lively when signing on. 24. Sony must have an active daily role in overseeing physical production for the remainder of the film to monitor safety for cast and crew, schedule, logistics, problem solving, and creative. 25. Engagement of an experienced producer to supervise the safety of the cast and crew, schedule, logistics, problem solving, creative for the remainder of the shoots. 26. Engagement of a Blake Lively approved A-list stunt double to perform Lily in scenes with Mr. Baldwin involving R-word and or any hands being put on anyone. Blake Lively to perform only close-up work or work from a Blake Lively pre-approved shot list and scenes with Mr. Baldwin involving adult behaviors. No more adding adult behavior scenes. This is 27. Or fellatio or on-camera adult activities by Blake Lively outside the scope of the script Blake Lively approved when signing on to the project. 28. No more asking or pressuring Blake Lively to cross physical picket lines. 29. No more retaliatory or abusive behavior to Blake Lively for raising concerns or questioning safeguards. 30. An in-person meeting before production resumes with Mr. Baldwin, Mr. Heath, Ms. Sachs, the Sony representative, the new producer, Blake Lively, and Blake Lively's spouse, Ryan Reynolds, to confirm and approve a plan for implementation of the above that will adhere to for the physical and emotional safety of Blake Lively, her employees, and all of the cast and crew moving forward. That was a lot, you guys. We're going to get into part 2 next. So we're going to get into what happened at the set on this movie. Like, share, subscribe, you guys. Till next time, be safe. Enjoy your day. Bye, guys.